What a week this has been. When who knew that the coronavirus would come all the way around the world to the UK? And who knew that we wouldn't be as prepared as we should be? But this isn't about the coronavirus or the actions of the coronavirus or the potential of it or the way it's being handled by the UK government. What I'm talking about is the way that when things are imminent, we might just leave taking action to the last minute. And when we do, we still expect the outcomes to remain the same. How's that then? We knew for a while back, a good few weeks now, that there was an issue with the coronavirus. But we sat back and said, let's wait and see. To a certain extent, the government are still saying, let's wait and see, because I can't imagine that what they're saying about just wash your hands is going to be sufficient. But my knowledge of it is quite low, is very low actually. So I am going to have to wait and see. What I do have knowledge of, however, is how to revise, how to study, how to get success out of exams, and how to move that forward into a successful life that makes you happy. And one that, if somewhere along the line you don't enjoy the career that you thought you were going to do for the rest of your life, then you know how to make changes. And the art is, as I've said before, not to be pigeonholed, to make sure you're not just good at remembering facts, but you're good at applying facts, you're good at analysis, and you can think your way through problems, and you can make decisions, and you can write it down. Lots of different skills there, isn't there? And those are lots of different skills that we have to make sure we know. And you've got a teacher saying it here now. It's not just about getting those nines in your GCSEs. It's also about getting the skills to go with them. Because long after everyone's forgotten about your nines, they still will ask about, can you do this? Can you write a report? Can you make a decision on an investment for a company? Can you work out strategy? So what we need to do is to start taking action and steps towards getting those skills and making sure that they're received on time to not only contribute towards the exams, but contribute towards life. Because, even though you hear quite often, it's not all about the exams, to a certain extent, it kind of is. They do kind of need a level of success, if anything, to boost the mindset of the child, to make sure that they know where they are and understand when they're talking to their peers that they are as good as their peers. Because that's not, when you're talking to teenagers, it's not as simple as telling them. They have to be able to take action and see this is actually proof. Now, what I would say to you is, let's not leave it to chance. Let's not say, you might do well, and if not, then you can go to college and do it. It's true, you can go to college and do it, but why would you? You'd still be unenthused about it, and retakes are never enjoyable, really, are they? It's nice when they're done, but they're not enjoyable. What is enjoyable is studying something that you like in a way that suits you. I have a student right now that he is very, very motivated, very, very good at maths. He likes to know two numbers when you do something with them, two or more numbers, I should say, that the result is there, and he knows when it's correct, and he has an amazing ability. He's like a little calculator, but he struggled hard with English because to a large extent, his mindset is one that says put two things together and you get an outcome. It's not that simple in English or any other subject, possibly science. It's a case where you have to think things through and problem solve and analyze, and those are quite difficult skills to get hold of. And when we worked with him constantly, it was amazing the day that he got an excellent English result for the first time after he came to us. And he was so happy, because the biggest piece of advice we gave him was think in your way, approach in your way, and then we'll put the icing back on top afterwards. And that's what he needed to know, that it was okay to approach in his way. Good, isn't it? So what I would, to put it in a nutshell, we now have a certain limited amount of time, 2 months, until published exams start. We need now to pay attention, to sit up and say, you know what, somehow we need to make this happen for our kids. We need to make sure that they are getting what they need to be able to survive in the world, this different world that we have, which changes so rapidly and has these little events happening which affect the whole world when it starts in a little corner of the world. We need to make them equipped. So if you contact us today, we can help you put together a plan which doesn't involve panic, because panic never helped anyone. And it does involve commitment, yes. If that's what you want, then you need to commit to getting it. But it also involves results that really affect the rest of your life. That student that I mentioned is now quite happily working towards leveling up his English. And yesterday we spoke together and we spoke about now putting in a little bit more of the icing on top, because he wants to aim for a level 7+ now. All of that motivation, all of that confidence building comes from not trying to fit into a box, but really having faith in yourself and realizing that you can do this if you do it your way. So I look forward to hearing from you soon. But in the meantime, have that conversation. Teenagers rarely tell you exactly what's on their mind because they don't want to worry you. But have that conversation, and then have a conversation with me. Let's see how we can help you get through this period. It can be stressful, but doesn't have to be. In the meantime, on this rainy day, try and have a good one.